Today, we're going to be putting a TJ bumper on a Jeep XJ. I've been out here staring at my Cherokee for a minute, and the more I look at this bumper, the more that I don't like it. It's not very strong anyway. It's not even thick steel, to be honest with you. That's how thicker the steel is, and as you can see, it bends easy. And half of it ain't here, and I don't like how this winch fits, so I'm getting rid of this winch. I love the winch to death, but I want to go with something a little bit more sleeker because I'm going to do something else. But I noticed this thing was twisting all up when I was using it the other day, and it's not really strong because there's so much here, and I see why they braced it. They had the bar that ran over top. But another thing I seen was this. All this is really not welded that good. It's just kind of bubble gummed. And this is the bumper that comes with the Jeep, so I have an idea. I traded for a bunch of Cherokee and Wrangler parts, so I think I'm going to put a stubby bumper on here and get a sleeker winch. And because this one does great. I love this Harbor Freight winch. It's treated me well. It's just way too bulky for what I'm about to do. So you probably noticed this come off my Wrangler. We went ahead and went with a totally different bumper. We stiffened this one up. This one was the one off Amazon, and it was actually pretty tough. Just didn't like the look of it. Didn't like how it looked. So we took it off. And then we have an older Wrangler bumper. This is from Smittybuilt, which I'm thinking about putting this on the Cherokee and making a winch plate for it. A lot of people ask me, why you're going to go stubby since you have this bumper. All you got to do is cut it off. You have the skill to, make it stronger and all that stuff. As you can see, this thing's all bent up. It's took some impacts here, and it definitely, at full flex, runs into that. And I could most definitely cut it off right here, which I'm thinking about doing that first just to see what it'll look like. But I don't like the sides on this thing, and plus it's real flimsy. It's not even thick at all, so I kind of want to do something custom. Might still go ahead and cut it right here and then box it in. All right, we'll see. You can actually see with the winch, I don't know how I can catch it in camera, but it actually pulled up this steel right here. It's humped up where it pulled it forward. So it's not really that thick. Just want to let you know, if you do want to run a JK bumper on a Jeep XJ, you can buy the mounts that hook just like regular bumper mounts, and they convert your XJ to a JK bumper. It'll be mounts just like this, but it'll have the end piece where it bolts to the JK bumper, and it bolts right to your XJ. You can probably make them yourself, to be honest, but they're $70, and I'll link them in the description below if you want to run a JK bumper on your XJ. If you don't want to do modifications like I'm getting ready to do, I want to be cutting this bumper off, make my own brackets to fit the older TJ bumper. So what I've done is extended this thing out a little bit, welded some plate back here, got my mounts made. I'm going to fill all this in so it looks decent, but this is going to be my stubby bumper. Some's not going to like it, some will, but this is what's going to be functional for me. So like I said, I'm not going to be using the Badlands winch because it's just too big, but I built it where there's enough room for different winch options. But I just set this up there just to give you an idea what it's going to look like. I think it's going to look pretty sick after I get it done. There'll probably be a part 2 because I've been out here all day fabbing this thing up. I got a lot of work to do on this bumper yet. Tons of stuff to do. Still got to finish welding all this up, boxing in the sides, all that good stuff. But I think it's turned out pretty nice. It's pretty sturdy the way it is, and it's going to be a lot better than the one that was on it.